everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Women and Non-Binary Diaries, a video series wherein we aim to shine a light on women and non-binary players in the competitive League of Legends scene. Today, I'm joined by the amazing GertrudeThePony, aka Laura from Verdant Bloom, the women and non-binary team of UK-based organisation Verdant. Laura has already made a name for herself in the scene amongst the big orgs, such as through qualifying for Pathfinders 2 in 2023 and being one of 4 women players accepted into the Women in Games Incubator. Thank you so much for joining me today, Laura. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm good. I mean, it's a bit warm in the UK, but otherwise surviving.
It's boiling, so it's very, very warm today. But glad you're doing well. So, to kickstart the interview, I'd love to talk a little bit about how you initially got involved in the women's scene, as I know this story and it's quite an interesting one, and I'm sure the viewers would love to learn about it.
Sure. So when I started university in 2020, I believe it was the first year that the UK started running a women and non-binary inter-university tournament called NUEL, and I was like, that looks fun. I'll join that. And at the time, I was a platinum support player, I think. Uh, and when you fill in the questionnaire, it asks you to add in some roles, and I just randomly was like, yeah, I'll throw top lane. This is the worst that can happen. I've reached the high point, I suppose. So I played in that, and I actually met Charlotte in my first year there. She was on my first assigned team, and then she was like, hey, there's some trials going on for a women's scene, and I was like, oh, women's scene. That's how I came to be.
Love it. So, did you have a good time playing there? Obviously, you're still playing competitively and you're still playing top lane, so something must have sparked there for you.
It was so fun. It was like I hadn't played any competitive league before I did that. I honestly didn't even play that much solo queue, and now I'm completely addicted. Just because I like comp so much. So
Love it. And as we previously mentioned, last year you were accepted into the Women in Games France Incubator program. Could you tell us a little bit about what exactly that was and how was your experience being part of, that incubator, being chosen as one of 4 players?
yeah, so it was about a year-long coaching program offered by the Women in Games France version, and they basically assigned you a personal coach. There were 4 of us picked. They made like a really cool video to like announce us on socials. It was cool. Like I felt really bad for the announcer they got, because she had to sit there and be like, Gertrude the Pony. And I was like, oh god, I'm so sorry.
Coolest name ever.
But I had a very, very lovely coach. Yeah, no, it was so every time someone mentions my name, I just feel so bad for them. I had Wadi as my coach. He now coaches for KC Academy, I think.
Oh,
So
damn.
clearly, something has gone right for him. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm so happy for him. We're still in touch. He still messages me from time to time. He recently congratulated me on graduating. So
Oh, that's
I'd
so
say we're
nice.
besties probably.
So if KC Academy ever need a sub top laner, you're kind of first in line there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm ready. Put me in.
Oh, love that. Sounds like a
But
great experience.
the program was really good.
Love
We
it.
got
And
to go to France, I think. Yes, France.
France,
I had
love
to
it.
think. I don't know why I had to think.
Was that Paris or whereabouts were you in France?
Yeah, so we went to Paris. We did like a trip to the Go headquarters, which is in
Oh,
Paris, I think, and then we went to Poitiers because we went to the GA LAN.
love it. Sounds good. And speaking of programs, you also recently took part in the Equal Esports Talent Camp. How was that experience? And do you feel that these programs are beneficial for you for, developing your talent and getting your name out there?
I mean, I think it was really fun. I did it last year as well, but I did it on like the alternative day, so there wasn't as much going on.
Yeah.
So this year I got to do like the workshops, which were really interesting. There was an in-game one which was super useful, and then there was another one on content creation, which is really nice because I feel like it's a side that players like forget about a little bit. I'm atting myself here. I'm terrible at it. But it was really good, and I think it can be really like nerve-wracking to play with people that you're not very comfortable with, especially like there's a lot of big names, like the G2 players show up and you're like, oh god, I'm stressing. But it's really useful to learn like from the coaches as well as the players. Like everybody has a slightly different way of thinking about the game, so I think it's super fun and interesting to get everybody's different perspectives on it at the end.
Yeah, that sounds really nice, kind of coming together with people you wouldn't usually play with and getting their
Yeah.
perspectives and all kind of meshing together. That sounds really fun. But speaking of people that you have been playing with for a long time, so obviously you've been announced on Team Verdant Bloom alongside your long-standing teammates Charlotte and Deja Vu, and we have new addition jungler Lilith and mid TBC. I'd love to learn a little more about how you, Deja, and Charlotte are this kind of core unit, as it seems that you girls kind of stick together through thick and thin.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it helps. Like I mentioned earlier, I met Charlotte through NUEL, so very early on into any competitive. And then when she took me to my first tryouts, that's where I met Deja. So they're kind of like my day ones. And I don't think I would have gotten very far if I hadn't played with them, because honestly, I was so bad at the beginning. I don't know how they put up with me.
Giving you
I
that
was like just
strength.
clueless.
Oh, that's so nice though.
But I think, I mean, I would probably just say, I think like the UK, and I don't mean that in like a, I don't, I think like it's a supremacy thing. Like I don't think the country is actually doing anything for us. I think just because I can go and see them,
Yeah.
and we've become like such close in person friends from boot camps and just meeting up outside of those, because we're all pretty close in England together. I think just because we're so actually like good friends outside of the game, it makes everything in the game so much easier. Like we can just talk about things, and there's no judgment, there's no beef, and I'll just show up to their house the day after and we'll get tea. Like it's cool.
That's so nice. Yeah, it's nice to have that online, team experience, but also you can bring that offline as well, and you have that mutual trust between each other, which then obviously translates into game. That's a really nice story. Yeah, I feel like I don't know of so many teams that have that kind of, everybody from the same country per se. Like I know NNO, for example, they're all
Yeah,
German, things like that. I think a lot of the Mad Lions Koi players are also Spanish. But yeah, it's super, super cool that you guys can just like meet up and forget about anything bad that's happened on the Rift and just, yeah, vibe in real life. That's so, so cool. And last year, your team actually became the first women's team to qualify for Division 2 of UKEL. How was that whole experience playing in the mixed scene as a female team? And do you feel like it helped you to improve as a player and as a team?
I mean, I think kind of the same as playing with people you don't really know. Playing in a more unfamiliar mixed environment, it's definitely a bit scary, and it was very hard on us at the start, as you can maybe tell by our performance overall. But I think it's so useful. I mean, especially because recently there's not been a whole lot going on in female scene for the year, like throughout. I think the mixed scene is like super important, and as a way to keep up competitive spirit and like practice in a more, like, I mean, scrims are scrims, right? Some days people just aren't going to take them seriously. If you're doing an actual tournament, I feel like it's more likely that people are going to be full
Lock in.
mental zoned in for it.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah. Also, like, maybe it's not so true now, but especially when I first started, female scene was very repetitive and stagnant in the kind of compositions and the style of game played. I mean, it's definitely like completely, I really don't think it's true now, but last split when we were playing, it was really important for me to get some experience in like different matchups that I wouldn't really be doing in female scene, so that I could improve like the laning phases and stuff. And I think probably true for the other lanes as well. There's a lot more solo queue style going on in mixed scene than there was in.
Yeah, and I suppose at the end of the day, losers improve. Even if you didn't get the results that you want, it's really important to, play against that maybe like higher level play, and you can learn a lot from other people. As you said as well in your scrims, sometimes you can maybe get used to knowing what somebody's certain play style is. So yeah, I think it's a really good thing that you guys played in the mixed scene, and even if things didn't go your way, as you said, it gives you that kind of more competitive experience. And speaking of competitive experience, sadly, there aren't many more women and non binary competitions remaining this year for the scene. I want to know, what are your hopes and ambitions for the scene next year? Like, do you want to continue playing? Do you want to join a mixed team? Do you want to solely be part of a women and non binary team? What kind of tournaments do you want to see upcoming, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me personally, I just want to play wherever I feel I'm gonna learn the most and benefit the most. So whether that's a mixed scene or a female scene doesn't matter too much to me. I'd like to stay in the female scene, irrespective of what permanent team I'm kind of on, but we'll see how that goes. What I will say is I would absolutely love some more tournaments to play in.
We need more, yeah, for sure. There's so for the remaining remainder of this year, obviously you're not in the Equal Esports Cup at the moment, and we only have the Coupe d'étoile qualifiers, which I don't believe your team will be able to play in because of the residency restriction.
Yes.
So hopefully next year we can have more, tournaments for you guys to play in, because I really want to see the team in action. But yeah, until then, we'll have to wait and see what 2025 brings. And yeah, I can't wait to see your team in action. Thank you so, so much, Laura, for taking the time to speak to me, and wishing you all the best of luck in your new venture. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye, guys.